Brandon Walker, and we are in the building for Pick Central. It is our daily gambling show here on Barstool.
Get it together, man.
You just walked in.
Yeah, I know, but we're solidified in our seats. You're strangling yourself.
Yeah, well, I was tweeting out the show, and Rico will retweet my tweet. So go ahead.
I do retweeted the Pick Central one.
All right. Hello, Marty. Hello, Rico. How you doing?
What's up?
So we gotta right away. Brandon just going on us here roughly saying that Pick'em sucks. Have to say it.
Oh, I didn't say it sucks as a show. It's wonderful as a show. I said their gambling picks suck. I don't think that's crazy. I don't think that's an outside the box thinking. That's pretty much.
We run hot and cold.
Mostly cold.
Nope. We talk it out.
You've created an entire industry over how bad you were on Pick Central. Not Pick Central, on Pick'em. I mean, 50 Burgers came from there. That's your whole identity these days.
I don't think so.
There was no reason to bring up the 50.
What are you doing? Hey, Rico, you're angry today. Why?
I don't know. Just cold. Get angry.
Yeah, I actually kind of agree with you there. It's been warm.
Nothing, and nothing to look forward to. Look forward to Lugers. The Mets suck.
Well,
Knicks are good.
You have the Bench Mile podcast going throughout the off season. That's something
obviously.
to look forward to.
I'm just saying. This week.
But you walked in You walked in. I was in the lobby, and you just yelled.
I threw a fastball.
You threw a fastball 98 miles an hour. You used a word that I've never heard you use, and then we're like, I don't want to deal with this anymore.
It wasn't even like a hello. It was a fast fastball.
Yeah, it was Aroldis Chapman just running in the building.
Sometimes you got to dust the guy off every once in a while.
The person you were mad at isn't even here. Who are you dusting off?
Dust off Marty sometimes too.
I know why.
Shrapnel.
I saw it. I scoped it out myself.
What'd you
got
scope
my
out?
own guys fucking taking shots at me.
Really?
Ooh.
You.
Oh, Brandon.
How did I take a shot?
You said my show sucks.
That's not your show, first of all. I didn't say
hosts?
That's wrong.
Pick'em.
That's his show.
Pick'em doesn't suck at all. Pick'em is wonderful. It's awesome.
You don't think that's his show?
What I was saying was I think it's his show. Yeah, sure, it's
I'll
his
have
show.
to get hot.
It's his show like the Yak is my show.
Get hot now. College football. Gotta get hot. Last year was also a throwaway season.
But you bragging about Pick'em is like
I got hot last
is like
year,
the
too.
trunk bragging about how fast a car can go.
Who?
I don't understand that.
Of course you don't.
Understand it?
Not really.
It wasn't a very hard analogy to grasp.
I don't know.
No one got it. The producers didn't even get it.
Well, you're not a smart human being. I assume the people in the chat got it. It wasn't a hard analogy. But I didn't know we were going to jump into it at each other's throats like this already.
It's not throats. Just shouldn't wake up.
You know what?
Thursday
This is actually
with people sending it to you.
Actually, you and I were in a good mood. We were getting along today until he walked in.
I'm in a great mood.
Those shoes are sick, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Very much.
I appreciate that. How would mine not be?
You look like a middle-aged dad who bought them on some Chinese website.
I'm sorry. Can you say that in the current shoes? Which is fine. You're right. Exactly.
These are called retros.
What are these? I got mine from the same place you got yours.
I don't think so.
I got mine from StockX. I don't know where you got yours.
I got mine from Rico Relationships.
Just two old
Who
guys
got it from StockX?
talking about how they got the shoes that used
You
to
see
be
the ones
cool.
that come out Saturday? The 11 lows, all
Bro,
whites.
I
Love
don't.
those.
I'm not a shoe guy.
Neither am I, but the Jordan 11s, they move the needle.
I got these off of Instagram.
So I ordered my mother a Mother's Day gift off Instagram.
There's a brag.
It says
May
targeted ad. I was like, oh, I like that piece of jewelry. Order it. Click the PayPal. Ship. It says your payment has now been completed to, and normally it'll say like Cahill Jewelers, fucking Walker Worm Farms, like whatever. It's 46 Japanese or Chinese characters. I'm like, yeah, not getting this by
You don't know the
like,
You don't know the difference in Japanese and Chinese characters?
no.
All right.
But either way, I'm like, fuck. So I had to tell my mom last night, hey, Mom, probably not.
When Mother's Day is May what?
It's this year. It's on a Sunday because of the leap year.
Just had to set you up for that one.
All right, it is Pick Central. We're going to talk gambling. We're going to talk about sports. We're going to talk about things that people like us to talk about. Is that all right with everybody?
Yeah, let's
You
go. How about
You
I was
good?
3-1 last night?
Pretty good. Congratulations. Before we talk about any other picks, and we'll talk about a lot of stuff, there is a boost on the Barstool Sportsbook app I love today, and Marty has one as well, but I'm going to talk about the one
I think I
love.
have one too. I'm texting Jack right now.
All right. So the boost I love on the Barstool Sportsbook app today is two of the better teams in baseball, especially the Dodgers. It's Angels-Dodgers to win today. The Angels play... I am fucking talking about a goddamn pick on the Barstool Sportsbook app.
I got one.
Sorry, it's not the Rico show for 5 goddamn seconds.
I got one that's better.
Now let me start this over because we're clipping the goddamn thing. Now shut the fuck up. All right.
Dodgers. Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Brandon Walker.
Did you not get any pussy last night? What's wrong with you?
SquarePants.
Square-faced motherfucker in the building, and he's talking about SquarePants.
SquarePants.
It's the fucking boost on the Sportsbook app.
It's too easy. You're too easy to get wrangled up. Do your promo.
You are SquarePants.
I was doing...
Is that Kershaw guy pitching? I love him. Minus 3,000.
On the Barstool Sportsbook app, do you like winning money? Do you think Dodgers being part of plus 250 is a good way to win money?
Fuck yeah, it's a good.
Good, then shut the fuck up.
Right
Shut the fuck up, you fucking fake Italian.
You're
Shut
talking
the fuck
about
up.
Kershaw all
Forget
day.
about it. Do your fucking shtick somewhere else. Angels Dodgers to win plus 250 on the Barstool Sportsbook. The Angels are playing the Astros. The Astros have sucked. The Dodgers are 14-4, the best team in baseball. Angels Dodgers to win plus 250 on the Barstool Sportsbook app. If you're in Pennsylvania, if you're in Illinois, if you're in Michigan, you got to jump on this. It's a great boost. Check it out.
I have a boost myself. I believe in the Yankees tonight. They have to. It's almost like a must. Scoring runs, win, please God, score. Yankees will win, and we're crossing over to the NBA because the NBA.
You're not going to chirp him. You're not going to chirp him about his boosted thing having the worst team in the American League.
It's not square when
he thought that out.
Yeah,
but we're trying to win money with people.
Yeah, and they're going to win tonight. The Yankees will win.
You bet the Yankees every day, though.
No, not everyone. A lot of them. But then I'm crossing over because I'm the best NBA gambler. Big Evs calls himself NBA. Just shouldn't have the name because I'm unbelievable. I had the Knicks plus 1.5 last night.
Thank you for that.
The Celtics money line tonight, plus not even plus 3.5 against the Suns because everyone. Yeah, you like that?
You know what the Suns did last night?
Played
one on the road.
Yeah, exactly. And
you know what they are on back-to-back against the spread? They're 9-3 against the spread back-to-back.
They do.
I actually love
Brad
parlay.
Stevens.
So go to the Barstool Sportsbook exclusives page. Take the Marty parlay. Dave has a parlay. Mine's like I really think it's gonna win tonight, but take that.
All right, sounds pretty good. So there we go. We started off with the Barstool Sportsbook app. Rough and Rowdy 14 is tomorrow night. Rough and Rowdy will be main evented by the former Hornswoggle, who will be over there in West Virginia. The Anus boys will be doing the Ring Girl contest. I don't know what they've got planned, but it's something special. I walked into a planning meeting yesterday, and it looked incredible.
Is this going to be a sign for if wrestling's a real sport or not?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Wrestling doesn't claim to be a real sport. Professional wrestling is
sure not a sport, but it's entertainment. Yeah.
Yeah, it's entertainment. So it's not trying to claim to be a real sport. But
some people try to.
It will say whether certain wrestlers are real athletes, and if Hornswoggle or Dylan Postel, if he's a real athlete, he can get in there and fight with this guy. If he's not, he's going to get his ass whipped.
Yeah, some people try and say wrestling's a sport.
I don't think anybody tries to say that. They do say it's real athleticism with real athletes.
I think you do need to be athletic to do it. And you've seen a lot of guys cross over to football.
You have to be athletic, but it's like when people compare it to it's like they know the winner. It's like just everyone knows who it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, I would never say that wrestling is a real sport. It's real entertaining, and that's the only reason I watch it.
I have to make an important call. I swear. It's to somebody we all know.
Right now?
Yeah.
What about all the time we had before the show?
Because I just got a text. Dave.
Oh. Okay. All right. Well, there's something. Hey, Rico. Me and you now.
What's up?
Just two buddies, two best buds.
I'm looking at these boosted. You see PFTs, Pirate Booty. Detroit Tigers to win in Pittsburgh.
Are you just
Pirates
now? You're just now looking
under 4.5.
You're just now looking at the sports book. 10 minutes into the show.
I focus on mine. We got to get them in at 10 o'clock. Now it's 12.
You don't focus on anything. You walk in, and you calling people names and saying, "Oh, I can't work like this." That's what you focus on. You focus on how you can be miserable today.
No, I was positive.
Can I say the word that you said when you walked in?
No.
Of course I can't.
Because I didn't say it.
You said it. I'd get canceled immediately if I said it.
All right.
No, I like to say that word too. We'll bring it back. All right, so college basketball, the real talk. Bench Mob, you guys are all over this story, and you've already talked about it. He's coming back in very quickly, so I'll just go ahead and re-intro it. So we're talking about college basketball subject now, since you guys are on Bench Mobs. Everything okay?
Yep, all good.
All right. So we are talking about college basketball, and the story I've been monitoring is it looks like Iowa is just being baby back bitches over a player wanting to transfer. His name is C.J. Frederick. Looks like he's probably headed to Kentucky. I don't think that's official yet, but Kentucky fans certainly think it is. But he enters the transfer portal, and then Iowa compliance goes on Twitter saying, by the way, don't do this, don't do that. Iowa was just being great big bitches about it. What do you guys think?
Well, I think that everyone is tampering. They've been tampered with, like the transfer portal.
If the transfer portal is as active and as open as it is, and it's going to be in the future, I mean, I think tampering might not tampering per se, but I think a certain level of contact is going to naturally follow.
What do you mean by tampering?
Well, to me,
my thing is if you are contacting a guy after a big, we said it on the pod. If you contact a guy after a Big Ten loss to like Michigan State, Maryland, let's say, and then you start talking to the kid, maybe you have a relationship with him, AAU, or kids on your team know him, and you got your kids being like, yo, you guys are 6-10 again in the Big 12 or the Big 10. How many years you want to do this? That's like putting it in their head in the middle of January, middle of February. That I disagree with. March, after a shitbag season, after a year where they were used like whores, and after basically 40 years of, we talked about the rules.
Used like whores.
They were. The kids have been used like whores this year, absolutely. You saw what the NCAA did. They knew what they were doing. Same with college football. We talked about the rule. They had to sit out 2 years, but coaches can do whatever they want. Like, the kids have been screwed for 40 years. So now they want to go play somewhere else and transfer, and these schools are going to cry about it? Like, fuck off.
Well, that's what
how much beating can these kids take before they eventually fight back, and they're using the transfer portal and the rules are in their favor? So go ahead, do whatever you want.
I don't agree with all that, but I agree with the part about, there's a certain level. Don't be talking to them in January, but after March, after the season's over, what's the problem?
But if you're a coach,
what's the issue?
Because obviously the rule is that you have to put your name in the transfer portal and then you're allowed to get offers. But they're saying that these coaches are already telling them that if you put your name in the portal, you'll get it. That to me is not tampering. That's me. If you're trying to just wait till you see names and then offer them, you're late in the game. You're not going to get the guy. Like if you're Kentucky or Duke or Michigan State or anybody, you're going to tell this guy, hey, you will have an offer from us if you go in the transfer portal. It's up to you if you want to transfer.
I don't think you should downplay the relationships. Guys who are doing well in the transfer portal right now have contacts all over the country that are good AAU coaches, other assistant coaches, former assistant coaches. Maybe they just talk to the kid, former players, and they know, hey, C.J. Frederick's unhappy at Iowa. They know, like you said, before he's putting his name actually formally in there, they already know it's a done deal. He's probably leaving. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or
they can just forecast and be like, you know what? Iowa's lost a lot of guys. They're not going to be as good as last year. Maybe that's where they're going to go. You can't. It's not shocking that guys from Iowa are leaving. Or like the best player at Eastern Washington after his coach leaves is leaving. Like, that's not life-altering shit.
No,
it takes an easy guy to figure that out.
It's not. And it's not. I mean, teams like Kentucky are going to get top-level talent. They're going to get who they want.
They better hit. Duke and Kentucky have to hit the transfer portal after the year they had.
One Iowa fan sitting here saying Iowa fans don't care they left. They care about Kentucky and Calipari cheating, which you're not going to get an argument from me about Calipari cheating.
I'm not even taking that road.
But they say that Frederick's uncle posted on Facebook in February that he was going to Kentucky. I don't know. Whatever. Maybe he did. Maybe he did decide. That doesn't mean Kentucky tampered with him. That means he decided he wanted to go to Kentucky.
He's got a dickhead uncle.
Well, he also decided that he saw Luka Garza is going to be gone. No one knows what Bohannon's doing, and no one knows what all these guys are doing. And what's his name just transferred to Xavier? Nungy's transferred to Xavier. Like, why would you rather play for that team or Kentucky? You'd rather go to Kentucky.
This weekend, we have a huge NASCAR weekend coming up as they head to Talladega to go to the Geico 500, the biggest and baddest track in racing. That's Talladega, right off I-20 in rural Alabama. Yes, you can see it. There's a beautiful Pilot Superstore right there that you can get a great chicken sandwich. But Talladega, right there, the super speedway, Geico 500. The Barstool Sportsbook is here to help you get on the action. You got your Denny Hamlins, you got your Martin Truex Jr.'s, you got your Chase Elliott's. The betting on NASCAR is electric. You can live bet. It is fantastic. to bet on NASCAR. It feels good. It's just a fast-paced sport. A lot to bet on with NASCAR. Stay tuned for our picks tomorrow. Be sure to tune in to the Talladega Superspeedway, the Geico 500 race, this Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox.
Have you been to a tailgate? I heard tailgates down there are unbelievable.
I'm aware. I've never been to one, but I've had friends in my group that would go, and they'd go 4 or 5 days. It's just a campground out there.
Nice.
People park, and it's just a fucking party. There's titties everywhere. There's beer everywhere. It's
crazy.
It's a scene. It is an absolute scene down there at Talladega. I think it's a lot of NASCAR. Well, I know it's a lot of NASCAR tracks that do that, but I think Talladega probably has a reputation for doing it the biggest.
Bring your own too, like in the
if you
place.
could bring
your own titties.
bring your
Wild.
own, bring your own that and your cooler. Why not do that?
Yeah, well, it's only problem is when to me, I get in a situation like that, and I'm 48 hours in. I want to go. I want to go home, sleep in my own bed. I don't want to sleep in a trailer. But a lot of people are built for that. I'm not built for it.
People
My dad weighs in on the transfer portal, and
Let's hear what your dad
he's
says.
upset. He said, "Is there any chance these guys are transferring for academic reasons? Like maybe the new school has a better engineering program?" Shaking my head. So my dad is very upset with the student athlete portion of losing students, but it's kind of the way it is.
So,
It's kind of true though. When they do it, it's like, oh, you have an opportunity to make the Final Four. It's nobody's talking about what they're majoring in.
let's Rico,
It's true.
Rico, you're on the #1 college football podcast at Barstool. Let's talk about college football. Let's talk about my college football list that I put out on my show yesterday.
Also, how'd you not clip in? You did. I saw the name of the episode. I thought it was going to be a plug to me. The list. You didn't play the funny audio clip of lists.
Oh, it's crazy that not every piece of content here at Barstool is about you.
Jack's a guy. I just thought you would clip in.
kind of agree.
You know what I mean? Like in the beginning, like
Why
a good
the
segue.
fuck would I do an unnecessary
PMT
roughness?
does those little sounds. All you got to do is just list.
I don't wake up in the morning and how I'm going to wash Rico's ass.
It's not even what it's about.
That's exactly. You're asking me
creative
why
segue.
I didn't
That's
go
all.
on my show and use a clip of you saying list like a bitch.
If you were going to segue, like we do the fight songs.
I don't know why you're yelling at him right now.
He's just yelling.
He's
He's
saying
asking me why.
The list is a funny video.
It's a very funny video, but it has no place on. That would be leaching. If I used a Rico clip to
3 seconds. Don't say list.
But
We're going to your
we're a
list.
team.
But don't
Yeah.
you think that would be leaching if I to promote my own content used a 3-year-old clip of you?
No, it's
Well, on the
team.
rundown, they use other people clip in and stuff as their references. That's all.
Why don't we help each other? You know, why don't us 3 help each other?
You're saying what Rico just did was to help me?
Yeah, I could
It's
have
a
got.
segue soundbite. That's all. I didn't say I should even be on the episode. It's a segue soundbite.
Okay, so how many podcasts here need to use clips of you?
0.
Is that in your contract?
But you name the episode
I
title.
bet you we can get you on this league. You've said league before, right? We can get you on this league all the time.
If you
I gotta be
say
honest.
list,
If you put the episode out on your Twitter saying this is the list episode, and then you put a clip of Rico freaking out about the list, it would have got some clicks.
But that's just
That's helping.
he's not
out.
on
all
our
it
show.
is.
He's not on our show.
Doesn't
you
matter.
just play the audio. That's it.
Okay, so if I had well, no, that would be a bad example. I was going to say if I had the rat line of the week, then I use a clip of you saying rat.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's going to make people want to watch my show.
I think so.
You're not on the show. Why would Marty Mush make them want to watch the
It's
show that
a
Marty Mush not
sound
on?
It's just
Bite.
like they wake up in the morning.
Okay, here's my top 10.
Soundbite.
Here's my top 10 current college football programs, and it's already
Can't wait to hear it in fucking May.
No, magazines are coming in a month and a half. This is magazine season. Don't shit on the magazine season.
What's the problem today?
He don't know. Nah, he's got a problem. I'm backing you on that one. It's magazine season.
Here's the thing: you're going to have to make Bench Mob interesting in July, and you're going to be doing shit like this.
Oh,
so
me.
you can't laugh. I'm trying to pump up something. And by the way, it's not May. It's April 22nd. It's Earth Day. I don't know what
It's
you're.
already May.
Happy
You
birthday,
should
Earth.
Stay with May.
So it is. It's 37 degrees outside. It ain't May.
Have we booked Elio yet to talk Derby?
Will you handle that for me?
Yeah, I'll handle that right now.
I would really appreciate that if you handle getting Elio. When is the Derby? It's got to be next.
It's always on a
Gotta be
Saturday.
soon. It's
First
always on
Saturday
Saturday.
in May
Yeah.
1st.
So yeah,
Get him on.
go ahead and book him for me. Do you want to hear my top 10 or not?
Yeah, absolutely. I never said I didn't.
All right, Rico, I'll talk about with you. So #1 program in college football right now. This is not all time. So Texas is not in the list. Michigan's not in the list. #1 program right now is Alabama. That's easy. Done. Number 2 and 3 are very, very close. I give Ohio State the nod at 2, because they've done it with multiple coaches. I think Clemson might be a one-coach program.
Who'd you give to?
Ohio State. Right over Clemson. Clemson has won more recently. They won 2 national titles. Ohio State's won 1 in the last decade.
It's a decent point.
But Ohio
Clemson
State
was shit before Dabo.
Ohio State's done it with multiple coaches, and Clemson's done it with 1. But it's nitpicking.
All right,
They're basically tied for
I'll
second.
give you that.
This is your top 10 programs, like not going into this year.
Look, programs currently in college football, yes.
Okay,
Like Iowa State's a top 10 team this year, but they're not a top 10 program.
got it.
Okay. 4 and 5 are also very close. What?
Who would you say is not a top 10 program?
Iowa State.
Oh, Iowa State. I thought you said Ohio State.
No, Iowa State's going to be a top 10 team this year, but they're not a top 10 program.
But they're another one that I don't buy. They're like, they're
Fair
always
enough.
knocking on the door.
Fair enough. 4 and 5 are also very close. I separate it because when Georgia gets to the playoff, they can win a game and they can compete for a national title.
Would you give 3? Clemson?
3 is Clemson, 4 is Georgia, 5 is Oklahoma. Oklahoma has the Heismans, Oklahoma has the stats. They play in a shitty league, and Georgia, when they get to the playoff, plays for national titles. And they got within overtime of winning a national
They
title.
could put Tommy Walker at fucking quarterback. I'll throw for 600,000 yards. It's
At Oklahoma?
insane.
Yeah, they're playing.
It's insane.
They play
every year I'm like, and then every year the kid just slings it.
But Oklahoma and Georgia are very close. If you put Oklahoma over Georgia, I wouldn't have much of a problem.
I also think if Lincoln Riley stays there,
6 LSU.
he's Saban.
Does he have to win, by the way, or does he just get to be Saban? Because we put him up as a top
he's
3.
got to eventually
but
win.
we put him up as a top 3 coach in college football. Doesn't he eventually have to win?
But how many did Stoops win?
He won the first one. He won in 2000.
So you could be a mainstay and still be a respectable coach forever. I do think Lincoln Riley needs to win.
Lincoln Riley is propped up as a top 3 coach in college football,
Early.
and he hasn't won anything.
How many years has he been there?
Several, at least 6 or 7 now, right?
All right.
All right, 6 is LSU. 7 is Notre Dame. After top 7, the top 7 I think is
You
ironclad.
think Notre Dame is 7?
They played for they've been in the playoff or played for a national title 3 times in the last decade.
And how many?
And they
how bad were they before that?
This is right now, so I really anything before that I don't really worry about.
All right, you're just saying the recency.
I mean,
All right.
they went the last 3 years. They've been in the playoff twice, and they went 11-2 the other year.
You have a big omission so far.
Who's my big omission?
We'll see if
I
you
haven't
do
got
it
there.
9 and 10.
8, 9, 10. 8 is Wisconsin. Pure consistency. They're going to win 10 games every year. They're not going to fall out. They're never going to be above 8, but they are what they are. 9 is Florida. I don't really love this one. And 10 is Oregon. I don't love Oregon.
There you go.
10's Oregon.
They're the best team west of the Mississippi.
I agree.
Every single season.
I agree. So,
What was 9?
9 was Florida.
Oregon's played for 2 national titles too.
You got Wisconsin before Florida?
Yeah. Florida kind of bottomed out there with Jim
Florida
McElwain.
wasn't
Mullins
great.
building them back.
Florida wasn't great.
And then like Texas is right outside of it because of the history. Michigan can always get back up in it if they get the right coach. Auburn's close. Teams like that. In the chat, they're saying, how could LSU be below Oklahoma and just kill them? Because Oklahoma's a playoff contender every year.
Where do you
and
put-
LSU will win a national title and then win 3 games.
Where do you put Boise?
Not in the top 20.
Really?
Not anymore. I think 10 years ago you would have, but not anymore. I mean, they're just
They're still winning 9, 10 games a season.
yeah, but they're not competing for anything real anymore. I mean, and they're no, and they just lost their coach to Auburn. Like you be a top 15 coach or a program if your coach leaves for a better opportunity.
What about UAB?
I mean, they're just undefeated when they honor the kids. So people think like I didn't like. That's a joke. They've covered 3 in a row. That game is a bet it
For the kids.
for the kids game. Bet it. I now own one of the jerseys.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Do you? Basketball or football?
Football.
Oh, one of the kids that has the patch on it or something?
It's the jersey that they wear that game.
Okay.
Yeah. There's no name on the back.
Well, you don't play for the name on the back. You play for the name
Play
on the
for
front.
the name on the front.
All right, so let's talk about Stable Duel app. The Stable Duel app is a fantastic fantasy game with horses. We just talked about the Kentucky Derby. Horse racing has a contest worth playing. Stable Duel brings more action with its fantasy-style game where you can play against others for big money payouts. Very, very similar to fantasy football. You can select your stable of 10 horses and watch the points rack up. There are also daily games with big cash prizes. Easy to use, even if you're new to the sport. Go to download the Stable Duel app and start playing right out of the gate. That's STABLEDUEL app. Go check that out. All right. What do you guys want to talk about? We got a lot of sports. There's another change in college football. I don't know if you saw it, but it's rumored that they're about to get rid of a lot of contact in practice. Because of a concussion study over the last 5 years, Ross Dellinger reported it this morning. They're going to go from 21 full pads practices in August to 8. 21 to 8. They're getting rid of the Oklahoma drill is a thing of the past. It is banned. All collision drills like that, bull in the ring, Oklahoma drill, they're gone. 21 full pads practices to 8, going from 3.5 scrimmages to now just 2 scrimmages in the fall. So fall football practice changes forever very, very soon. My gambling stance on this, overs. Early season overs.
Unless you have a ton of returning guys on defense that are like studs.
But they're never going to do the Oklahoma drill again?
Nah.
You really think they'll?
If they ban it, they'll ban it. I think they'll stick to it.
It's not. Here's the thing, man. That's the concussions is still like it's like finding out somebody robbed somebody's house. Like they still will come after these coaches and fucking go after them, and the compliance. It's not worth it for these guys with a headache. They're not going to do it.
So apparently,
coaches are not. They're not just going to. They're just not going to do it.
According to this 5-year study, that 50% of concussions in college football happened in August practice.
Would you be surprised if they have to submit their practice tapes somewhere too?
No, I wouldn't be shocked about that.
Yeah, there you go. So you can't get around that.
I wouldn't.
Shit,
I mean, they're not playing. They're not playing around with concussions. But going from 21 full pads practices to 8 is significant. And I think
huge.
In September, when that first week, I think you're betting over because tackling is going to be behind, defense is going to be behind. I think it just opens up September wide open, and not until midseason will you see these defenses be at full strength and be where they need to be. I think it's over city if this in fact happens, and I think it is going to happen.
Especially if you start looking at passing percentage, which is what I always kind of look at for over teams too. So if you have Iowa State versus BYU in a non-conference game.
Yeah.
And obviously Zach Wilson's gone, but you look, and for the last 3 years, they've thrown the ball 70 versus 30, probably taking the over. That's their style. Either way, while you won't have the Jimmy, you're going to have the same style, bet the over.
Yeah, I just I was thinking about what it means, and I don't know. College football fans will freak out because they think Oklahoma drill proves toughness, and it probably does. I'm sure it does. But if they're getting rid of anything that could cause concussions, or at least they're trying to pull back on it, does it change the quality of football? It will change the quality of the first 3 weeks. I don't think it changes the quality of football throughout the season. I think eventually everybody gets to where they need to be.
Yeah, I just think the Oklahoma drill is just like, I know concussions, obviously, we want to stop that, but like Oklahoma, this gets everyone hyped.
Yeah, I think it'll be on coaches to think of other ways to get teams hype.
Yeah.
It'll be on, maybe let's not scramble somebody's brain to get everybody going. Let's do something else, whether it's be a special team or something. So a dance contest, we see it coming out of practice all the time. Coaches think of these goofy ways. Might be like a secret scholarship, shit like that.
As long as they don't stop the Oklahoma drill on spring break, I'm good. Those spring break videos are with like the bigger girls or like the bigger guys are but those girls hit hard.
But no, it's always those spring break Oklahoma drills are always one girl who's just happy and fun to be there, and she's on vacation and she thinks it's not that serious, and one girl who's taking it super serious. Whose
father was a linebacker coach for 12 years in Wisconsin.
Kevin Green's daughter, and she just trucks the girl, and the girl's laid out like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
That shit's so funny.
Oh, man.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's going to go away. I think we'll
remember
always
those
have...
old, you won't remember, you're too young, but those old, like late night you would see the VHS tape things. And I hate this story, but one of them was always Girls Gone Wild.
Yeah.
And like the VHS tape, and if you buy one, you get another one even hotter, whatever.
Yeah.
I would pay for that should be a commercial VHS tape of spring break Oklahoma drills only on VHS. Like,
I would watch the shit out of that.
Watch the shit out of that. $9.99. Then you get another one where it's like fucking, I don't even know.
I remember
hitting even harder hits.
That Girls Gone Wild craze was right when I was in college, and it was the first wave of DVDs, and it was you're exactly right.
Yeah.
Buy the DVD for $9.99, and you get it's even hotter or the hottest.
It was
hot.
only on certain channels like E and the Howard Stern reruns and MTV.
Did you buy it?
I never bought it. However, my roommate had it in college in 2001, and he brought a girl home, and the girl just kicked it with us all night. And when she left, he said, she was on Girls Gone Wild. And we put the DVD and we studied. We were like scouting. We were trying to find it, and we found actually he took.
Guy
her,
ended up getting sued.
He left with her, and then me and the other roommate scouted. So when they came back, we had it paused on the screen, and I think it ruined his chances.
That's worth it though.
Yeah, we had to do it.
Yeah.
You can't tell us that.
You tell us after.
Yeah.
Joe Francis, guy ended up getting sued for something. I forget. He was a bad guy, as it turns out.
This was the Girls Gone Umaga?
Yeah, pretty
I
sure.
mean, yeah, probably makes
Boy,
sense.
they had a moment though. I mean, they probably cleared $500 million
DVD
over 3
craze,
years.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
and then just and probably living on it still.
The internet screwed him.
Yeah.
Him and Stu Fine.
damn it. I was just gonna say, didn't see the internet coming.
Somebody says we should make a commercial for Oklahoma Drill Spring Break VHS
Yeah, I
with
feel
Ron
like
narrating.
maybe
I feel like they'd find a way to say that we're assholes, but if you make it mock, you know who should do that is Nick and fucking KB. They could find a way to like not get canceled and do that.
Let's see.
I'd be fine going to spring break.
Before we get to picks, I got a lot of NFL stuff to talk about, and some Dodgers Padres tonight. By the way, they
Very
kick back
exciting.
off.
Yup.
That's the best series in baseball, so check that out. We'll talk about our baseball picks in a minute. Eagles coach Nick Sirianni is playing paper rock scissors. He's doing two things that I think are very
Don't say it
are
like
very
that.
what?
Said it like an
paper,
illiterate.
Did I say paper rock scissors?
Yeah.
Rock paper scissors. Excuse me. I sorry.
All right.
Rock paper scissors. You know why? I was out of room, so I wrote it differently. All right. So they're playing rock paper scissors with NFL draft prospects during their Zooms to see how competitive they are. And he refuses to name a starter at any of the 22 positions because he wants everybody to earn it. This guy sounds like a high school coach trying to coach in the NFL.
Yeah.
These gimmicks never work. Lou Holtz tried to sing a fucking fight song to the Jets when they had Joe Namath. This shit don't work.
Did you hear the Portland State college basketball coach?
No, what'd he do?
He says that he doesn't drive.
Doesn't eat breakfast in the
Doesn't eat
morning.
breakfast in the morning, which, first of all,
Goes
I
to
don't
work hungry.
I don't either. I go to work hungry every morning.
Every
Yeah.
day.
Second, he said he drives a car with no heat or AC just so because he's like, just so he's strong or something?
Yeah, like-
mental toughness. It's like, bro, just get heat or
That's really stupid.
it's so dumb. He probably just drives his wife all the time, so he gets all of it.
Question. Would you rather drive a car in the middle of summer with no AC or in the middle of winter with no heat?
Winter with no heat.
You'd rather drive
Without
with no
a
heat?
doubt.
I
Can't
think
be hot.
I think because you can roll the windows down. I think I'd go without AC.
No, that hot air
I need
is
heat. I am with you.
You need heat.
I would prefer to have if
It's tough. It's so tough. But you could bundle up.
I don't know, man. Just the sitting in your car and turning that heater on and getting
It's nice.
Yeah, that's.
What was it? Which one should I ask him? The B1
But then you
or
always
Randy
shut the
Johnson?
heat off. You shut the heat
Why
off
don't we
after
just
a
do
certain
both?
amount.
We could do both. We're on the show.
Yeah, right.
Well, I asked you before the Randy Johnson or
It's not
Rouse.
enough money. I wouldn't do it.
You wouldn't do it?
Nah.
You changed it to Randy Johnson for him. I got Aroldis
You
Chapman.
got Ross Chapman. I think the one where you every day, once a week for $1,000 a week, you get hit by a curveball, but you don't know by who or when.
Oh, I would do the curveball one.
It's still like 86 miles an hour,
Yeah, but it's not 99.
but you also don't know when it's coming.
Yeah.
All right. I think
Can
I'm
it
out
hit
on
you
both.
in your sleep? You have to be awake.
You have to be standing up and awake.
I think I'm out on both.
Okay, other one. Every time you step outside, there's a fly buzzing around your face. No matter what, you can't kill it. It's your fly for 2 years. Or 2 years, no, you don't know when it's coming. You get stung by 36 bees.
And this is not 36 bees at once. This is 36 bees over the course of 2 years.
Don't know when it's coming. So you can not get stung the whole first year. Then you know that second you got 36
I'd take the
bees.
36 bees things.
I think I'd go with the fly.
You're out of your mind.
I haven't been stung by 36 bees in my life.
Yeah, I haven't either, but it's something I would take.
I don't know. The fly, maybe you could be friends with it. Maybe it's like, here's Johnny.
I don't. So in this, in your scenario, you've now given human feelings to a fly. It now has a brain.
In my
Because I think it's a fly.
It's definitely a fly. I'm just like, I'm trying to make the best of it.
I don't know that I would earn the money, but I don't know that I could have a fly around me without killing it.
Well, it's like indestructible. You can't kill it.
An invincible fly.
Yep.
Huh.
Just have it's like the one where you like always go like this and you just.
I know that bee stings aren't the end all be all of everything, and I've been stung by wasp, hornets, everything. But I just don't want to get stung by 36 bees. I don't want to have that sensation 36 times.
It's a lot.
It's
a lot of times.
It's a lot of.
It's-
We used to have a beehive in my house, back, and the big mothers would fucking fly. You remember that red bat you had as a kid, the fat one?
Mhm.
You'd let them fly, they'd start to get in, they get in you, and you just take a fucking swing. These motherfuckers would go. It was the best. It was the best.
And don't they just come back angrier?
I mean, they're friends, but
like
you also
that's pre-crime behavior. That's pre-serial killer behavior.
You hit them, you kill them so that they don't sting you. What are you talking about? They're this big.
What kind of bees are these?
Motherfuckers, bumblebees, big
They don't
motherfuckers.
sting.
Bumblebees
Bumblebees.
don't hurt you.
But they have friends who sting you. I don't know how it works. I just knew that this
The
bat would
bumblebees.
fucking. It was batting practice. These motherfuckers would doop.
The bumblebees call their friends.
You know, if we ever go to Uncle Donnie's again, he has beehives right there by the house. He has like 4 standing beehives. He has an apiarist come in and gets the honey out. Just beehives.
Does he get stung?
No, they don't. No, you treat them right, they'll treat you right.
Fuck that. I want to go back to Uncle Donnie's. That was very fun.
Yeah, we should have a fish fry at Uncle Donnie's this summer.
I'm down.
I would love to go. You're going to Mississippi tomorrow.
Today?
Today, you're leaving in just a minute.
Probably
Today.
like 5 minutes.
I think you should leave now. I can't believe for a 2:20 flight you're waiting to leave at 12:45. That makes me nervous.
Yeah, when you put it like that.
Right. I mean,
All right.
It makes me very, very nervous.
I'm going to look up a lift.
All right. So what else you guys want to talk about?
Can I give my picks before I leave?
I would like. Why don't we do picks now? We can talk about sports the rest of
How
the
about
way.
this? Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
You think the Knicks can give? Well, I don't want to look past the first round opponent.
I think
Who the first round opponent would be?
it would be the Hawks right now. They're 4 or
Okay.
5. They just switched 4 or 5.
All right, so that's a tough series. Pending the Knicks get past the Hawks, can they give the Sixers a run?
No.
I think they give them a run. I think you give them 6 games. Yeah.
Okay.
I
That's
just
all
don't
I'm asking
think
for.
that-
That's building.
I don't
That's
think
all
there's
you're
a-
asking for.
because
They already built. Like, what the Knicks are doing this year, going from that to this is unbelievable.
but the playoffs is more.
Yeah, but you can't get rolled in the playoffs.
The playoffs is more defense, less or more defense.
They're
less
playing with
possessions.
house money already by making the playoffs.
Yeah, that's what I'm
winning a
saying.
series is great. Now it's like, hey, maybe they fucking sneak. That's all I'm looking for is just a series in the conference.
Here's what the
semis.
Knicks have. The playoffs are more defense and less possessions, and you need a guy who can go get his own, right? Julius Randle is a guy who can go get his own in the 24/7.
They obviously
offense.
play defense.
They play defense at a very high level. They can muck it up too. The Knicks are built very, very well for the postseason.
Thibodeau's an experienced
The
coach.
Sixers, while a better team, have not always, or they're not ever, this version of them shown toughness in the playoffs. If the Knicks slap them in the fucking mouth, the Sixers might bow down to them a little bit.
Right.
So, yeah, I think they could definitely give the Sixers a run. I don't think it's guaranteed. Like this, the Nets could still take that spot from the Sixers, I believe.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So Nets second
That'd be
round.
a cool
Think about
one. Yeah,
that.
that'd be a cool one.
But I who's covering Embiid? That's a great question. I don't know. Nobody has anybody can cover Embiid. So that's just something that, that happens.
Julius Randle could definitely give him a little bit of a trouble, or like Nerlens Noel switching off.
Well, Noel's a very good defender. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the Knicks are just fun to watch because they don't have like Julius Randle's and quickly is unbelievable. That guy fucking whacks
He's a
from
steal.
3.
He was a steal.
What a steal he is. I mean,
That's what makes you get excited when they do things right in the draft and start making certain moves after watching how bad they were for so many years. It's like, just don't fuck it up now. Don't just trade everybody for a star on it who's unhappy somewhere else.
What'd you think about Zion gushing about the Knicks? He would love to be in New York.
I would die if Zion came here.
Would you? You are a Knicks fan, right?
Not really.
You're not really diehard, but you would identify as a Knicks fan.
How are
No,
you not a
Pelicans
diehard?
fan.
How are you diehard and not a Knicks fan?
Yeah,
I've
but you're a
never
Pelicans
been-
fan because of Zion, right?
Yeah, and because all Duke was on, and like Frank Jackson and and Brandon Ingram. But I was never just an NBA guy. I never watched the Knicks religiously all
Well,
the time.
basketball was my favorite sport growing up, so we always used to go to the games and makes sense.
But you were more college than pro, or are you both?
I was way more. I'm still way more college.
Way more college than pro basketball.
Yeah.
And honestly, the same for football too.
Yeah. Well, I come from a college football area, so
Yeah.
we don't have a pro team within 4.5, 5 hours of my house. So it was always college sports, college.
It's hard though,
football
being a
and
New
basketball.
York guy. Like I get it. KFC has said it all the time. There is no New York City team
Right.
at all. There's really not even many New York State teams unless you really stretch for Syracuse.
Yeah.
Am I missing any other Division Ones?
No. Well, of course, in the '80s you had St. John's, which
No, I'm saying more college football.
Oh, you're talking about college football.
Yeah.
Football, no.
The only one that ever have a chance would be Rutgers because there's right beside New York.
Yeah,
They're-
but that's a stretch too.
That's a
so-
stretch.
Yeah, it's tough. There's not a lot of college football people in New York City.
But
I could see where a lot of guys like just fade that away.
Who was it? Was it Youngstown Bob that tweeted the college football?
Liam tweets it every Saturday.
Oh yeah, the New York City is the best place to watch college football because there's fans of everybody.
Yep.
All right, NFL draft is. Go ahead.
I don't necessarily hate the take if you're a friendly guy like Bob. 1 week you're in Auburn.
Is Bob a friendly guy?
No,
he's not. All right, forget it.
I think Bob's
nice
kind of
me.
a
He's nice to me.
Yeah.
I thought he was a friendly guy.
Yeah, no, I think he's a dick.
wait, let me give my picks before I'm about to go.
One last thing about Bob. I just realized yesterday that Big Cat using his Twitter as his burner, he can tweet anything and just people think it's Big Cat.
Yep.
Say it's Bob.
Yeah.
Scary.
All right, Marty, here's your picks, and I'll get my picks after this.
I got the Mariners money line, Angels money line, Yankees money line, Celtics money line, and let me explain. I love when a team plays so like the Mets. The 2 innings they played, and everyone we did short porch. Everyone's like, "Oh, Mets are in your head." I don't care. The Yankees, we can't talk about anyone right now because we're so bad. But the Mets, those 2 innings, like Frank, does what he said yesterday. Everything was right. They made one of the worst plays ever. The first where the guy safe at second. Lindor staring at the second baseman, just letting the ball go. Lindor also looked terrible with a hood on. Why does he have a hood on?
JD Davis.
Why he looks worse when you have when you're making errors
you look
and
like
you have a hood on. It just makes it. And then the pop up to right where the second baseman's like kind of faking it, but it just drops right in front of the right fielder.
That's like the old outfielders with the pop up glasses. You drop a foul ball, fly ball. Never wear the fucking glasses.
No,
again.
gotta take them
that's
off.
Enough. Like they don't work.
Lindor struggling?
Yeah,
no,
he started slow.
He hit a homer yesterday, but I mean he's still struggling.
I think he's historically. This is from Jeffy Lowe, who followed him in Cleveland. He's a historically slow starter.
All right.
And
I think a lot of baseball players are like it takes a little bit. Like it
turns
takes
out hitting a baseball
time.
is hard.
So hard.
JD Davis was working so hard on his fielding. He sucks too.
Yeah,
he still sucks with the glove.
So I have the Mets tonight.
I am worried about you picking the Yankees every day.
Tonight's kind of my
do or die?
Tonight's my close to being like do or die. Yeah, like this is where I stop watching for a little bit because it's gonna piss me off. But the Yankees have seven people in a lineup with 100 average.
All
right. I'm on the Mariners.
Okay.
I'm on the Padres. I'm on the Celtics plus 5.5, and it's coming out soon. I've been texting Jack. There's going to be a doggy diamond parlay of the day. The Mariners and Padres.
Why is it the doggy diamond?
They're both dogs, and they play baseball on a
diamond.
Okay, there you go.
Doggy diamond.
Doggy diamond.
You think that's like you're very proud of that name.
Doggy diamond.
That sounds like
that's
something
how you do it.
Marty would have come up with.
Doggy diamond, and you do that's how you.
Oh, that's bubble gum.
Yeah, I know. We've had this talk before. I was taught doggy
Who's
diamond.
had this talk before?
It's been brought up. Me and Marty have had this same conversation. It's like warp speed. You say bubblegum. I say doggy diamond. That's how you do it.
It's just
that's how I was taught.
Have you ever heard this game?
I've never heard of either of those.
Bubblegum.
Now you pick like who gets to go or who's on whose team. You do yourself.
So
you go like this.
I've done something to that cadence, but I can't remember what we said. We never said bubblegum. We didn't say dog. I've done something. I
almost want to guarantee nobody besides Rico has said doggy.
Well, I got it from my mother. It must be a Brooklyn thing.
All right. Did you give all your picks?
Yeah.
Okay.
My mom might know the whole song.
Okay.
You know the whole bubblegum? It's bubblegum in a dish.
I've got the Yankees money line as well. I actually like the Yankees today, so I was just busting your balls a little bit. I got Cubs money line to beat the Mets. I got the Hornets money line to beat the Bulls tonight. Suns -4 against Celtics. Suns are 9-3 against the spread in back-to-backs. The second half of back-to-backs. And then the Barstool Sportsbook app has a terrific boost. It's Angels Dodgers to win plus 250 on the Sportsbook. Angels are playing a very struggling Astros team. Dodgers are the best team in baseball to win plus 250 on the Sportsbook. That is terrific. It is boosted. Go to the Barstool Sportsbook. And,
love you guys.
Yeah, love you too.
Where are you going?
Going to Dion's. Think I got a chance in ping pong, a home run derby, a horse.
You have a chance in 0 of those.
Yeah, you're not a basketball guy. Ping pong maybe.
Dion says he's good at basketball.
Win ping pong. You have to.
He said he got prime from basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's my advice: play ping pong first. Win. Maybe go up 1-0 and get him on tilt.
Your advice is to win. That was your advice.
If I win, well,
it's the only event.
That was his advice.
If I win one,
do the event first. My thing is, do the event first that he has the best chance of winning.
You are good at ping pong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Win that one and then maybe get him on tilt.
I think horse. I'm a good horse player.
Yeah, but this is prime. You don't know.
All right,
You don't know
we'll
how
see.
it works.
So it's ping pong, horse, and home run derby.
And then we're gonna try and do maybe tennis.
You guys are
gonna run.
You're not gonna run the 40.
I'm gonna run the 40. I don't think he is.
Well, you got to call him out for that.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I've got that planned already.
I think there should be you run the 40, and if it's a certain time, he gets to say, "Hey, I went." Like you don't want me running.
Yeah,
this.
put him on the
like
honor,
if
put
it's
him on
less,
the honor system.
if it's 4.5, he'll have to run it.
4.5.
Anything above, all right.
4.5, I'd be a
I
slot
think you're about a
receiver
4.9 guy, 4.95550 guy.
We don't think Deion's breaking 4.7?
Oh yeah, no, I definitely do.
Ah, you know what?
I was talking about Marty.
It'll be fun.
a little bit
It'll
old,
be fun. I'm going. He's
What do we?
old.
That's a good
why
question. What do we think Deion runs?
That's
the 40?
also why
I actually think he should have to run the
I
40
said this
now.
whole thing.
I need to know.
Deion, yeah, he's the best athlete, but he's also like 50 something.
Yeah, I think I need to see him run the 40.
I think. What would you guess? I would guess 4.7.
Peace.
See you, Marty.
I still think he needs to run it.
Yeah, but what would you guess? What's your guess? You think he'd run a 4?
4.7, 4.8, 4.7, 4.8.
Okay.
But I don't think he's breaking 5.
You don't think Marty's breaking 5? So we did the thing.
4.9. He's lanky.
We did the thing when we came up here, and we had to stop the car on our trip, and I held the stopwatch for him, and he ran a 4.79. But I know that I was slow on the jump.
Yeah.
I know that I was like a tenth of a second slow on the uptake, and I was fast on the. So I think I think he definitely runs like a 4.9 or 5.
That's what my football coach did. We ran the 40 every year. One year I broke 5. It was 4.9, and the guy goes, "Must be." He goes 4.9. Must be broken.
Yeah.
So that's. I was never a speedster.
All right. So what do you want to talk about? It's just me and you, just the best buds. We are. You and
When
I
do
get
the
along
NBA
great.
playoffs start?
When are you gonna try to start squeezing me out?
No, you're all right.
I'm all right.
Yeah, you're all right.
You
I
know-
like the back and forth. You play with it.
Yeah.
I like you.
Okay. Good. When do the playoffs start?
Yeah.
There's still got almost a month, I believe. So it's starting later this year.
The NBA playoffs and not for another month.
It might not be a month. It's definitely later than it usually is because usually it's like right now.
It should start right now. It was always around spring weekend.
Yeah, but
it was a great time.
They didn't start until December.
Yeah.
So I think they're
Let's
going.
see.
I think it's starting at the end of May, maybe. If you could check that for me, that'd be great.
39-20 is what the Nets record is. That's 59.
Yeah, but nobody's playing 82 games.
I understand they're playing 72, right? Yeah, so 13 in about a month. Damn.
Yeah.
They're making it a big deal like the Knicks. I thought the season
but the Knicks have won 8 games in a row. It is a big deal.
Yeah, it's definitely a big deal to get to 4, but they could flip right out of that.
They won 8 games in a row, and they're But, if they flip, they'll still be playing the Hawks probably. So, all right. What else we got? NFL draft. Here's my question about the NFL draft to the chat, to people out there in your cars, to people in the production room, to you. The best player in the NFL draft is regarded as Trevor Lawrence because he's the quarterback and he's going to be #1 pick. The guy that might be regarded as the second best pure football player in the draft is Kyle Pitts, tight end out of Florida. My question is, if you're in the top 4, if you're in the high in the top 10, can you make yourself take a tight end knowing he could be a game changer, but he is in fact a tight end?
You have to have established quarterback.
You think so? You can't take him if you don't.
Because a tight end is, it's very hard to say. A tight end is never really anybody's #1 receiver, right?
So I was talking
in terms of targets,
but he kind of is the most important for a lot of teams. He's the most important target in the red zone, which is the most important part
right?
of the field.
But you do need to have wide receivers that
stretch the field.
Yeah, make people cover them, and now we have a third matchup problem.
Correct.
Or enough where, hey, we got to keep an eye on those wide receivers. You can't just have shitbag wide receivers, and you do need a good quarterback. I think thinking he's going to put a team over the edge, he'll just get lost.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't have good wide receivers. Now they're like, all right, you know what? We're just double covering Pitts in the red zone, and we'll make you kick field goals.
Tight end is the kind of position in the draft that when a good team needs that thing to put them over the edge, the tight end is it. It's never the building block of an organization, but if you take him at 3 or 4, he's the building block of your organization now. So it is weird. I think that you just have to do it because he's so good. And Big Cat, I was talking to him about it earlier. He made a great point. The last 2 Super Bowls have included Kittle, Kelsey, and then Gronk had 2 touchdowns. Like, good teams with great tight ends are getting to the Super Bowl. Teams with great tight ends, they are a game changer. So maybe it's a new era where you don't even worry about the position. You just take him because he's so good.
Gronk was a walking dead body. But it's just his presence in this last year's Super Bowl. Like, even if you have a good one, you could even forget about him. And he got 2, I guess, kind of like I don't know, lucky. You know what I mean? Like whatever. He was not fucking Gronk of the past, and you still had.
You
It
still had
shows
to
what
account for him, yeah.
It shows what he can do to you. Yes,
So,
absolutely. If you forget about him, absolutely.
I'm a Dolphins fan. We're at 6. I'm praying for Kyle Pitts or Jamar Chase. Either one. I want the number 1 receiver or Kyle Pitts, who's the number 1 wide receiver / tight end.
I think that's a good pick for Tua.
I don't think I'm very scared that the Bengals are going to fuck this up for me. I'm scared the Bengals are going to go with the receiver Jamar Chase instead of what they should pick, who's Penei Sewell, the tackle out of Oregon, franchise tackle. You shouldn't be able to get a guy as good as him at number 5, but they're going to be able to get him. I think it goes quarterback. What happens at 4? Do the Falcons go quarterback with Trey Lance, or do they go Kyle Pitts? That's a pivotal point in the first round.
Do you think it was a stupid move that the Jets got rid of Darnold already? Obviously, cap shit, whatever.
No, I mean they know who they're going to get.
They like their tackle now. The kid from Louisville.
Yeah,
his name's escaping me. Becton.
The big motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
not Becton. Is it Becton?
I think it is. If you have,
he's huge. He's 6'8".
He's an animal.
Yeah.
It turned out that they got the best tackle out of all those tackles.
Yeah.
If you have him and what's the kid's name from Oregon?
Penei Sewell.
Sewell.
Yeah.
You have 2 tackles now with a quarterback who.
Yeah.
Maybe we're giving Darnold just a little bit of a shot. I don't think he's a great guy, but my thing is, you watch these teams do it all the time. Being from New York and reading the papers, and the Jets are a punchline. How many times are they going to reset every 3 years?
It's a great question, but
Gino, Darnold. This guy. Who's the next guy? Like you got to be right after a while.
Eventually, but if you keep getting on the green, the putt will fall. Like if you keep they saw Darnold closer than anybody, and if they see Zach Wilson's tape, they believe Zach Wilson can be better. You have to do it. You can't not do it. And so I don't think you can say. I don't think you should stock your offensive line with 2 Pro Bowl tackles without having the answer at quarterback. You got to keep trying to get the answer at quarterback first and foremost. That is the number 1 thing you have to do as an NFL football team. It's what Miami did last year. I don't know if 2 is the right answer, but you had to do it. You have to try to take that shot. So I'm fully on board with the Jets going ahead and doing what they did. You know, Darnold, they gave him a 3-year run. It didn't get to where they wanted it to go. They'll give Zach Wilson a try now and try to get that answer. So, yeah, it's a good question though. The draft this year is very interesting to me in that you have the quarterbacks who have lined themselves up at the top of the draft. I don't feel like Zach Wilson or Mac Jones are typical 2 and 3 picks.
Did I
don't feel that good.
I talked to you about Zach Wilson's record against bowl teams without his record with when they had him, and then he was out, and BYU went 3-1 against bowl teams without him.
Yeah,
there's some weird numbers with him.
Well, that was one of the.
I don't think he's beaten anybody.
That's the big question I have about Zach Wilson is BYU had technically a good year. They didn't play anybody. And the one game they played at the end of the season against Coastal Carolina, I think they scored 19 points. It wasn't many. They got beat.
I think they played. Did they play San Diego State? Or did that game get canceled?
Didn't. I don't think they played anybody, Rico. They played a very easy schedule. They were killing teams, but he was putting up numbers against tomato cans. And
he also didn't play any fourth quarters.
Really, except for the Coastal Carolina, which he couldn't engineer
and he lost the game. Yeah, of course.
So, Brandon, you look incredible today. Would you stick with Drew Lock or draft a quarterback if you're the Broncos? I would draft a quarterback. I'd try to trade up and get Justin Fields if I could. I don't think Drew Lock's the answer in Denver. I think Drew Lock is there's tools there and there's things that make you interested, but when it comes to the White Lions, Drew Lock really changes nothing for you. I think you know. I think you usually know. Like last year, Justin Herbert, you knew in week 1 Justin Herbert is the answer for the Chargers.
I knew him because I loved him in Oregon.
I think you know. I don't think there's like Sam Darnold. If you're still waiting at the end of year 3, is he the guy? Is he not? Then he's not the guy. I think like Justin Herbert, we know he's the guy for the next 12 years in I want to say San Diego, but it's not. It's Los Angeles.
Navy, Troy, LA Tech, UTSA.
Do you really say LA Tech like that?
Yeah, I do. I know I'm wrong every time. Houston, Texas State, Western Kentucky, Boise, who they beat the shit out of with injuries that week, though. It's supposed to be a big game.
Yeah.
A lot of injuries. North Alabama.
I think the Boise game was
lost to Coastal and beat San Diego State, and then the bowl game against UCF, who probably checked out, right?
Boise was the turning point where I believe he became like a huge draft prospect. Like he was a nice story. He was putting up big numbers.
To the Heisman.
When he beat Boise, because it was on the road, right? He beat Boise on the road like that, and then all of a sudden he's a household name. And I still don't know that he ever really lived up to that. But we'll see. We'll see. That, obviously, the guys in the Jets draft room probably more knowledgeable than me. Well, maybe not. It's the Jets.
I think you're more knowledgeable.
Yeah, I mean, it is the Jets. But yeah,
Elio in for Wednesday, by the way. The
He's
draw
in
is Wednesday morning, Wednesday 12-1. I don't know, how do we do? Can we take call? Do we do Zoom?
we'll figure it out. We'll get him in here. We'll probably Skype him in right there.
Awesome.
So we'll have Elio, and appreciate you for booking that talent for me. Yeah.
Hollywood Races app.
Are you, what about racism?
Hollywood Races app.
Oh, Hollywood Races app. Okay. So Tyrod was the starter, Brandon. Yes. I'm sorry. Let's get technical about it.
A lot of guys
the
were
first
starting,
week
so
that
it's
you saw
shitbags.
Justin Herbert, you knew that he was the guy. Don't be a fucking bitch. Don't be that guy in the chat. Come on. You knew what I meant. All right. Brandon is staring down everyone that walks through the door. I don't have a great attention span, so when somebody walks in the door,
Hey, just take a look.
I do check them out. And let's not act like Rico didn't stare down the person that came in last. Let's not act like that didn't happen. What else you want to talk about, Reek? Got your positive vibes only shirt on?
We did a little NBA. So are you certain you think it's going to be the Lakers out west?
I don't know, man. So the Jazz are obviously good. The Suns at 42-16. The Suns beating the Sixers last night. The Suns are going to have to be accounted for. We assume that LeBron comes back and just turns it right back on. But how do you lay off 2 months with an ankle injury and then come back at 36 years old and be the best player in basketball?
I mean, because he's a fucking robot.
If anybody can do it, he can do it. He has shown his body is different than everybody else's. He's never really had a major injury. You have to be, and it's going to be a slog. Like if they're the 5 seed, they're going to be playing a good team early. So they got to be good right out of the gate. They're not going to have a lot of leeway. Speaking of LeBron, I don't want to get political, but he stepped in it yesterday, man. Did you see that? He stepped in it. He tweeted that tweet and then deleted the tweet. Fine, whatever. And then said the tweet was used for hate. That's why he deleted it. No, you sent a divisive tweet. You knew it was divisive. You can't blame other people for dividing when you were the one that was dividing in the first place. I'm a LeBron guy. I'm a team LeBron guy. That was a tough look. I did not like that yesterday. That was a rough look from LeBron James.
Yeah, it's tough because I mean he's angry and he has a right to an opinion, but you know people are going to hate you. So I think you have to be more calculated, in that stuff. You got to see the backlash.
The original tweet that he sent out, that's going to be a big deal. That is absolutely throwing gasoline onto a fire. So when you delete it, don't say, "Oh, I deleted it because it was used for hate." No, you set that fire.
Yeah, right.
Don't blame somebody else because the building's burning. You set it on fire. That's the reality of the situation.
Yeah, it's a tough
Whether you agree with LeBron or don't agree with LeBron, I don't really give a shit. But doing what he did and absolutely, starting the wrecking ball and being surprised when it hits something, that's a bullshit move. An absolute bullshit move. Own what you're doing. You want to tweet about accountability? Hold yourself accountable for stoking some divisions and some fires that you started. Okay, sorry, but I do love LeBron as a basketball player. I've always been team
he's
LeBron.
great. He's just,
I think he's the second greatest of all time. Could be the best player of all time. That is what I feel about LeBron James.
I just think he's very calculated and
I don't think he's calculated enough. I think he thinks he's calculating.
I think it was corny stuff. I think he knows what he's doing and he just tries to, And I think the Last Dance thing now, he's like. It's like, dude, you're a cornball. Like, you're clearly...
Yeah.
What came out... I don't even remember. There's so many things that go, but he's a fascinating guy because I just think he's fucked up. Being alone from 17 on. Like, everyone telling you how good you are. But something came out. What did he do? He said he was going to push his teammates, right? It was something like that, right?
Yeah.
It was clearly, I just watched The Last Dance, and I want to be like Jordan.
Yes.
It's like every fucking Italian, when Rocky came out, was all of a sudden with the fucking bouncy balls and... wanted to be a boxer. It's like, all right, yeah, we get it. The movie inspired you. Like, all right.
All right. Here was my other question about the NFL draft. So since we don't have Marty, we're just talking NFL draft. Over under 0.5 running backs taken in the first round. A running back has been taken in the first round every year since 2014. Last year, I think it was the very last pick. It was Clyde Edwards-Helaire from LSU. Over under 0.5.
In the 80s, that would have been what, 6.5?
Yeah, it would have been a lot. It would have been a 90s? Whole lot. But now it is 0.5.
Yeah, it's a passing league.
And it's a passing league, and there's one guy, the guy who's favored to go first is Najee Harris from Alabama. He is minus 140 to be the first running back off the board. I think that makes sense.
Where is he projected, though?
He's in that 20 to 40 range. He's in that late first, early second range, and there's always a team that will trade up to that end of the first round and try to get one. I know the Dolphins need one bad. I'm hoping for Javonte Williams out of North Carolina. Do you think Najee Harris? You say first round?
I think teams who are good at the end of the draft, he could sneak into the first round. What is it? Plus 140?
No, he's minus 140. No, he's minus 140.
What's the over?
A half.
Yeah, but is it just plus 100?
Yeah, I think so.
I'll lean that way. I think a good team like
we'll grab.
Yeah.
We'll address a need.
Yeah, I think a team could sneak in and be like, oh, you know what? We'll take a running back established, and he's a beast. So.
All right, that was good.
That was real good. I'm trying to get this fucking odds boost.
You're gonna be in tomorrow, right?
Yeah, Friday.
So me and Rico will be here, and Jeff DeLoe will be here tomorrow to talk.
Marty's leaving today.
Yeah, he's getting on a plane. He won't be back until the end of next week. He's going to be out for a while. So Marty's out. Me, Jeff DeLoe, and Rico tomorrow. Big Av hasn't contacted me. I think he's sick. I know he's sick, but hopefully he'll be back. I don't know. That's Big Central. Yak is up next.